If you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by portrait photography, or just at a loss of what to focus on to take you to that next level, then come hang with me. I help guide portrait photographers just like you to stay clear and sharp in camera and with your goals. I'm your host, photographer, educator, and weirdly positive mama of four, Emily Supio. And this is the Stay Focused podcast. Photography advice to help you stay focused. Well, hey everyone, it's Emily Supio, and welcome to this episode of the Stay Focused podcast. I am so excited that you are here. I am so excited that you pressed play on today's episode because I know there are a lot of choices out there when it comes to learning about photography and growing your business and just photography education in general. So I really am grateful that you chose to learn with me today. And I think you're going to like this episode because if you have been following me for the last couple of weeks, you've noticed that I've got something new in the works. I am creating a path to help new photographers who are 100% ready to take their hobby and turn it into a business. And today's episode is going to help you with just that by really pinpointing those 5 things that are holding you back from taking that first leap, that first step into a photography business. So I'm going to share with you those exact 5 things that are holding you back or stopping you from doing that, and then show you what you can do to push past that. I am so excited because next week, I've created something brand new for you if you are 100% ready to start your photography business dream. This is for all of you photographers who have been thinking about starting your own business, but are just not sure where to even start. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast over on iTunes or follow me over on Instagram so that you're the first to know of this brand new free online class for photographers ready to start their business. Okay, so let's start with number 5. Let's do a countdown. And these really aren't in any particular order, but let's start with the number 5 reason why you might have a hard time taking that first step in starting your photography business. This is huge. And I'm going to make a bold statement here by saying everybody experiences this. Imposter syndrome. You feel like you're not good enough to be a business yet. And this could be for several reasons. Maybe you really don't have a lot of experience yet. Maybe you've just picked up the camera a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago. And so you feel like you don't have that experience to go into business. But you know what? If you can take a good picture, if you understand your camera and you did that in a couple weeks and you have a passion for it and you've got this feeling right now that you just want to go with, then there's nothing that should be stopping you. The imposter syndrome that you're feeling is just something that you're placing on yourself. There is no set rule that says that you need to have a certain amount of experience or you have to be behind the camera for this amount of years before you can start a business. No, if you can take a good picture, you can start a photography business and you can make great money from a photography business. Now, I want to be crystal clear. If you've just picked up your camera today, if you've just taken it out of the box, if you have no clue what all of the buttons and dials do, if most of the pictures that you take are out of focus, you still need some practice with that. So I'm not saying that just anybody can go out and start a photography business just because you have a camera, but I want you to realize that you are not the imposter. If you can take a good picture, you most definitely can start a photography business. So let's move on to reason number 4. What is stopping you from taking that first step into starting a photography business? Well, number 4 is that you feel like you just don't have a clear path. And while the internet is awesome, there is so much information out there, right? There's not really a path that takes you from, well, what do I need to do first to start my business? And then what is the next step? And what is the next step? And what is the next step? A lot of times you feel like, Well, I want to make money. I want to start a business. Where are the clients? But you don't realize that that step comes a little bit later in your business process. And so not having that clear step makes things just seem really jumbled, right? And even if you do get started with a photography business, because you're not following a clear path and you don't understand, okay, I want to go from point A to point B to point C, because you don't have that path and because it's really clear and jumbled, instead of finding that path to help you to clarity in your business, a lot of photographers feel like, well, I can't start. There's so much information, but I just can't even get started because my path is not clear. And that is really a huge roadblock and what stops a lot of really brilliant photographers from even starting their business. Okay, the third thing that is stopping you from starting is that you keep telling yourself you can't because you don't have any business experience or you don't have any marketing experience. And while it's a great idea to find someone that will help you in that business area, you do not need a business degree to start a photography business. You do not need to have a marketing degree to start a photography business. I know that I was a mom and a teacher when I first started my photography business. And a lot of the students that I work with also do not come from a business or marketing background. I am actually thinking about that. As I said that, I don't know if any of them came from a business or marketing background. A lot of photographers that start a photography business start either as a stay-at-home mom or a teacher, or maybe they were working in a doctor's office before, or they were a receptionist. Maybe they were working in a restaurant. Maybe right now you are not even working at all. It doesn't matter where you are at right now or the experience that you have. If you can take a good picture, if you have that desire to start and grow a business, that's what you need right now. And yes, it's a great idea to find someone that can help you get on the business path so you're not overwhelmed and frustrated by all of the business aspects. But don't tell yourself that you can't start because you don't have any business experience. You 100% can start a photography business with zero business experience. And I'm saying that because I know firsthand. Like I said, I was a mom and I am still a mom, but but I was a new mom, I guess, and a teacher when I first started my photography business. And I did not go to school. I don't think I took one college class in either business or marketing. So here's the next thing that is stopping you from taking that leap into starting your photography business. You keep using time as an excuse. And this is a huge one for a lot of people. You'll say, well, I've got so many kids, I don't really have time. Or I'm already working part-time or full-time. I don't know when I'm going to find the time to do this. And the thing is, we all have the same amount of time, right? And we choose to do with our time what we find to be most important in our lives. So if creating this dream for yourself, if starting this dream for yourself, if building this dream for yourself is important for you, you will find the time to do it. A lot of times we make time our excuse because something is too hard or confusing. So we use time as an excuse because we can't figure it out on our own. But I want to be super clear with this. You do have time. Starting and growing a photography business does not mean that you have to spend 40 hours a week. It does not mean that you have to spend 16 hours a day building your business. There is no timeline. There is no race. There is no finish line that you are trying to get to. It's your business, right? So you can put in as much or as little amount of time as you feel like you need to in your life. However, if you put in zero time, then your goal and your dream is going to stay just that. It's going to stay a dream. So if you are 100% ready to make your business happen, you've got to get past time being an excuse and find that time to make your dreams come true. Okay. And the last thing that is keeping you stuck, keeping you from even starting your photography business, is a very, very untrue belief that so many new photographers think. This is completely untrue, but it's something you might be believing right now. And that's that the market is too saturated where you live. There are already too many photographers in your town. There is no way that you can ever get, known in your town or make money in your town because it's already covered. That is a false belief. And I want you to think for a minute about a really big restaurant, McDonald's. It's a really big company, right? Huge hamburger restaurant. Do you think when McDonald's opened up that they thought, you know what, maybe we just shouldn't do this because there's already all of these mom and pop hamburger restaurants in the town already. So it's covered. We shouldn't do it at all. No, they didn't think that at all. And they went on to become one of the biggest hamburger restaurants in the world, right? But when they started, there most definitely were lots and lots of other hamburger restaurants that were out there. So just because there are other photographers in your town does not mean that you cannot start a business too. I want you to get that idea out of your head that the market is too saturated. So, with this episode, I really didn't want it to be a downer. I didn't want to start throwing out all of these things on why you can't make that leap. But what I want to do is I want you to be very aware of your mindset and these things that you might be believing or telling yourself about why you can't make that first step and make your dreams happen when it comes to starting a photography business. Hopefully, some of these resonated with you, and you're thinking to yourself, you know what? I was believing that, or I was thinking that. And I want you to know that you 100% should not be anymore. Okay. You can get past that. You can make today be the day that you take the first step in starting to make your photography dreams come true, because I truly believe that you can do it. And I 100% think that you have what it takes to start your own photography business, whatever that looks like to you. All right, you guys, I will be back again with a new episode of the Stay Focused podcast. So if you haven't subscribed already over on iTunes, head over there and hit that subscribe button. It takes 1 second to do that, really less than a second. And if you enjoyed this episode or any of the past episodes of the Stay Focused podcast, I would so appreciate if while you're over there, you leave a quick rating and review for the show. That really helps me out a lot in the internet world of trying to get this show in the hands of all of those new photographers that need that motivation and inspiration and help with their photography journey. All right, until next time, here's to staying in focus in camera and with your goals. Bye, you guys.